this and we will get started. So, looking at the 15-minute time frame, we did do what I thought we were going to do. I walked away from my computer, and by that time we had already dropped a lot. So by the time I came back to my computer, it was a little too late to get into any shorts. So the timing was unfortunate this morning. Right, we were just waiting for that chop to end. It never ended, and then right after we hopped off, we eventually saw price do exactly what I wanted it to do, which was bounce off that 15-minute bearish unicorn model, and then we ended up dropping all the way down and taking out that Asia low, which was down here at 7 p.m. So no, I stepped away from my computer. I took a little break, and I was going to come back and look for some trade setups. And when I came back, we had already dropped all the way down. So at that point, it was too late for me to get any short entries that I wanted to. So yeah, that's the way that it's gone for me today. It's just not the timing so far. But again, we're back now, new session. So on the 15-minute time frame, we can see we've gotten that reversal now after taking out a bunch of these lows. From this range right here, from this dealing range, from this swing high to this swing low, we have now gone back into a premium of this range. We're above the 0.62. We're in this bearish fair value gap. We're almost touching into that bearish order block here. So this is kind of what happened on Friday. We're on the daily time frame. We saw us drop all the way down and then come all the way back up. Now, the reason we're doing this, I mean, we can see that we're bouncing from a bearish fair value gap and a bullish fair value gap on the daily time frame. Looking at a 4-hour, we were seeing that pullback. I mean, our structure here on a 4-hour, we still have a lower high here, lower low form down here. Not a lot of levels of support here besides maybe this 4-hour order block. On the 1-hour time frame, you can see we're bouncing off. This is an important level to look at. We can see the 50% level of that hourly. We see that bounce off of that BPR, the bullish value gap goes up to here. So here to here. So we can see that 50% level that we have not mitigated. And we're seeing that reversal. So it's kind of just like what we saw on Friday, that lunchtime reversal, right back up. But I would still expect the shorts to come back in. So I'm waiting to see if we're going to break structure back to the downside, get some kind of shift. Obviously, every candle so far on this upward trend on the 5 and 15 minute have been bullish. But I'm going to be looking at the 1 minute as well, to see, because this is the point where I'd want to, if we were going to head back down, it would be around this point. We might honestly try to trade up all the way back into that unicorn with this bullish trend. So as long as we have this bullish trend going, I'm still going to be looking for longs until we see an actual shift in market structure, until we actually take out some lows on the 1 minute time frame. This is a very steep bullish trend, so I'm not going to try to short this just yet. Although we are back to the premium of that range, I want to wait to see if we're actually going to get a break of structure back to the downside before I short, right? So trading the trend right now is where my mind is at. I want to trade this trend until we actually see us start to head back down and start to target those lows again. So we have traded pretty far back up. We can see on a daily range, I'm going to use the fib one more time here. We can see on our daily range, from this low all the way down here that we formed, all the way to this high, we still have not hit that 50%. The 50% would be a little bit higher on our daily range, so we might see us retrace a little bit more. But on this dealing range here, we have already hit that 50%. We've hit that 0.62 level, that golden level there. So I am basically waiting to see, are we going to continue to respect the trend, or are we going to start to break structure back to the downside during our silver bullet hour? See if the shorts are going to step back in here like they have all morning. until this lunchtime reversal. Okay, so we're starting to get a little bit of downward momentum. Not anything crazy. I want to see these lows get taken out. I would like to see this low get taken out. I start to see that reversal pattern here on the 1 minute. And that's when I would start thinking about the shorts again. Okay, we can see the hourly is touching into that hourly imbalance, or that hourly order block here. Right, so a strong resistance level there. We could see price. We could see a reaction off of it. Again, we have Silver Bull hour in about 9 minutes is when we start getting into that. We've taken a bunch of buy-side liquidity leading into that. We've taken out all these highs. So we might see price come right back down and target the lows again. Okay, so we're starting to get that break of structure here. All right, we need to see us start to mitigate these bullish levels. All right, it's like that 1 minute bullish for value gap. We need to see us mitigate. And when you hear me say mitigate, it just means disrespect. You know, close below it. Body close below. Just start seeing these bullish levels start getting disrespected if those shorts are going to come in. And if they don't, and we keep respecting this trend, that's when we'll continue to look for the longs to catch all the way back up to that 15-minute up top. But so far, that's a strong. We're seeing a strong move back down. So now I'm really just waiting to see clear confirmation that we are going to get a market structure shift. All right, I'm not in any rush to jump into these shorts just yet until we get that real confirmation. Going to over here on ES taking out that low. I want to see NQ take out this low. Right, because we're still in that trend right now. We're still in that bullish trend. So let's see if price continues to respect these levels. If we continue this trend, we can look to take some longs up to that 15-minute unicorn again, up to VWAP. From there, that's when I would look for price. If we really did continue to push, I would expect price to drop again from that 15-minute level like we did earlier, especially since we have VWAP sitting right there. So that's what I'm waiting for. Waiting to see that confirmation here. Let's see if we can start to close below these levels. And we can see on the weekly already, on that weekly time frame, weekly candle, pretty crazy weekly candle so far. On our first day, we pushed all the way up, which is what I talked about last night in our charting session. I said we will most likely push up, take out this high, try to fill this fair value gap, possibly touch the volume gap. And then from there, I wanted to see if we were going to continue up through those highs. But then we had a bunch of negative news come out, and we saw that drop happen. And so on technical analysis, we had our ideas right. We went and grabbed buy side. We filled that imbalance above. But we always got to think about that fundamental analysis when that news is coming out, how the market's going to react. When we see such negative news come out, we would expect a little bit of a drop in the market. As of for the rest of the day, we don't really have any news we have to worry about. So we'll see if we're going to have some good price action going into this next hour. I'm really hoping we do. We can catch a nice trade here to end the day. So we're still respecting this trend. We cannot close below that 1 minute fair value gap yet. So that's really what I'm waiting for here. Start to fill some of these gaps back to the downside. But I hope you guys have been very mindful of your trading. If you guys have continued to trade, I hope that you have been still focusing on that risk management. There obviously was a few potential trades you could have taken throughout this drop, but really the main one was up here, up here. Those were kind of the main trades, right? You could have looked for the shorts here. Right, so there was some opportunity. There was some opportunity. Again, by the time I wanted to get in that trade, we already dropped so much to where I really could not have gotten a good, solid entry. That's good, G Money. Love to see it. All right, so we're starting to try to close below this 1 minute fair value gap here. That's what I want to see. I want to see some strong movement down, some good momentum stepping in. Moving closer to that next hour into our 11 o'clock hour. So let's see if this 1 minute can continue to close below, get displacement here. Try to close below this little swing low on the 1 minute as well. All right, so we're starting to break the trend a little bit. We gotta close below this low here. Okay, so we inverse this 1 minute. All right, so this is when I start thinking about short entries. Still would like to see some more confirmation of us closing below this low here. I'd want to see that happen. Again, we're seeing that bounce on the 5 minute. We see all these imbalances down below. I'm liking this 15-minute candle so far. Just want to continue to see that drop. Really see us get that market structure shift here. See how this hourly closes as well. It's a nice bounce off of that hourly order block above. Okay. So this structure that we're forming is starting to look nice on the 1 minute. I do want to wait to see this hourly candle close. Because again, we're still not breaking this low down here. Sorry, this is that low I really want to see us take out. Right here. That swing low on the 1 minute. Really want to see us take that out with displacement. So that's what I'm looking at here. We got about 40 seconds left on this hourly candle. Still not getting that shift in market structure right now. Let's look at that 4 hour. Obviously, we see that long wick on the 4 hour without that fall through. We've been seeing that pullback. All right, so we just closed. Still a pretty strong hourly candle there to the upside. Bouncing off that 50% of that bullish fair value gap. So I'm going to need to see a lot of... If these shorts are really going to step back in, we're going to need to see a lot of reaction off this hourly order block up top. Right now we have that bullish imbalance down below. we might see these longs really step in and try to go for that buy side liquidity or go back to that unicorn up top. As long as we continue this bullish trend here. So still no conviction right now. Still really just waiting to see. Waiting for NQ to pick a direction here. So NQ can't really make up its mind just yet. So what I really need to see, what I really want to see, is if these longs, if we're not going to break structure to the downside, if we're not going to get that market structure shift, and we're going to continue this bullish trend, then I want to see a strong move up with a lot of momentum through these highs, giving me that extra conviction that we are going to go target that VWAP and that unicorn again, and possibly the highs up here. Yeah, I'm trying to read through what you're saying, AZ Sunshine. Just read through it real quick. Yes, this is what I'm looking at. Yeah, guys, so it's this 15-minute bearish fair value gap, and it's at 5-minute. We're above that. We're in the premium of this dealing range. So that's why I wanted to see if the shorts would come back in, but we still have not gotten any breaker structure. Or we've gotten a slight breaker structure on the 1 minute, but we have not gotten a market structure shift. We haven't taken out this low down here. Yeah, AZ Sunshine, that comes with time to be able to really spot out the different PD arrays and what we're bouncing off of. What I will say is I'm always looking at the higher time frames first. As long as those are aligning, sometimes we are going to bounce off those smaller time frame PD arrays, especially in these ranging conditions. But focus on the higher time frame ones above the smaller time frame ones. And when you see the smaller time frame PD arrays aligning with your higher time frame analysis and those PD arrays, that's when you have that conviction in those trades. And then you're looking to take positions out. Let's say you were to get in the longs. Say we're going to long off here. And you wanted to catch it all the way up to that next 15-minute imbalance. Well, then you're just looking, because let's say we're using the hourly bullish fair value gap as confirmation to go in the long here. Okay, so but then you see on the 15-minute there's a bearish fair value gap up here. We might reject off of that 15. So then if you're going to get in the longs, right, you're trusting that the hourly time frame is going to show you the way. It's going to show us our real direction. And then you're just going to look to scale out once we get into that 15-minute, because we could still see a rejection from there. But you're still trusting that higher time frame level here. But yes, that is something that we can go more into. So yeah, guys, I mean, right now we're still just kind of chilling in this area. We're just chopping. I'm just waiting for us to start moving. All right, as we go further into this hour, waiting for that move to start happening. Not looking to get any entries in this chop here. Not until we can really show a break of structure or a market structure shift or some momentum, some bigger bodied candles, right? Showing that we have more volume. It's really what I'm waiting for here. All right, all these 5-minute wicks to the downside. 5-minute looks like we're trying to pump here. Then we go down to a 1-minute and we can just see that we're just ranging. We're not getting any clean price action yet. So I'll continue to wait until we do. Okay, so like I said, that 5-minute is starting to look all right. It's still holding that bullish trend. We go down the line, you know, we can go to the 4-minute, holding that trend, 3-minute, holding the trend, 2-minute, 1-minute. We're still holding that bullish trend on all of these time frames. We still have not broken that low down here. But that's that low that if we do break, that's when I'm really starting to think about shorts. But this is that price action where you just can't really get any good entries. Okay, we're not forming any 1-minute levels. Not really any 2-minute levels either. We had that 2-minute fair value gap down here that we bounced from. So now we're starting to get that pump. All right, so if we're going to continue this trend, I'm starting to now look to see if the longs are going to step in and take us all the way up back to that 15-minute. Right, but again, we're still ranging, so we don't have that confirmation yet. But if we do start to break that high, now we're looking to take us, you know, all the way back to VWAP, just back to that unicorn there. If these longs are going to step in, but again, we're still, every time we try to make that push, we struggle to push through this imbalance. So still no confirmation on the longs. It's not going to be like this for the whole month. No, this is just a typical Monday. I mean, not a typical Monday because we did see a pretty big drop. But this kind of price action right here, we're not going to see this. We won't see this kind of day every single day this month. But we are going to see some volatility throughout the month, and June can be a difficult month to trade in general. And that's why you just hear me emphasizing our risk management so much today. I did not send you a DM. I will never send a DM first because of that reason. So if you get a DM from someone that says Trader Joe first, it's definitely a scammer. That's why I do not DM anybody first, because of people that create these fake accounts. Let's see what did I say? Oh man. Thank you for following and engaging on my official page. How are your trades going? I hope you didn't send him. I hope you didn't send him money, Seabreezy. And remember that too, guys. I will never ask anybody for money. I'll never DM you first. It's not because I don't like you. It's just because of these scammers out here. Thank you for, thanks for reporting that account. Yeah, I would appreciate you guys. If you do have these accounts, fake accounts reaching out to you, please report them. So we got up to the top of the range. Looking like we want to break out. Trade right back down. Yeah, it's kind of scary. I mean, most of those accounts, those are fake followers that they have just to make it look real. Most of those scammers will do that. Okay, now we're heading back down to the bottom. Heading back down to the bottom of this range. So I'm just going to keep waiting for something. Break out of this range. So we got that 15-minute fair value gap below. Another 15-minute down here. Let's see if we want to get that shift in market structure here. If we want to take out these lows. Okay, there's an aggressive drop. We're now touching into that 15 and 5-minute imbalance below. We're looking to try to get that shift here in market structure. Let's see if this is just a quick liquidity grab that's going to take us back up, or if we're actually going to get that shift back down. Okay, so we can see that reaction after taking liquidity, after about, touching into that 15-minute and 5-minute imbalance. This is why I do not trade. I'm not a breakout trader, right? You don't see me jumping into trades every time we get an aggressive drop or an aggressive pump. We wait for those moves. We wait for the liquidity grabs. We wait for displacement. So far, we displaced this low. We have not displaced this key low right here. 15-minute candle and 5-minute close in 1 minute. I do want to see how these close. I want to see if we're going to displace that previous 15-minute candle. Right, if we can get a nice bearish close here, I do think these shorts will come back in and try to target those lows all down there again. Okay, so now we're getting that market structure shift here. You can see we had SMT up here at the top. ES took out that high, NQ did not. So now these shorts are starting to look pretty good here. So now we're just looking for levels that we can actually go short from. Okay, I would like us to inverse this 15-minute. We just inversed it. Right here. Do want to see if we're going to get a reaction off that 15-minute inverse, or if we're going to come up and try to touch into our 1-minute imbalance above. We can see we got displacement there on the 5 and the 15. Very strong displacement. We do have that imbalance below we got to be careful of. If we had SMT at the highs, My full target would be all the way back down to these lows. Might want to hold this trade for a while. Probably look to start, to take TP. We don't have a lot stopping us. So maybe TP down at this order block here. And that's if we can continue down. After breaking structure, today has been a crazy day where we have not been respecting our levels very much. Like even after getting strong market structure shifts, we've just been going right back. Okay, we're starting to look good. These shorts are starting to look good here. Again, I do want to be careful. See if we're going to trade up a little bit higher. Maybe into that imbalance above. Or if we are going to react off this 15-minute inverse. And see, ES did not displace these lows. ES over here has that 1 minute bearish breaker. See that 1 minute bearish breaker there on ES? I'm starting to like these shorts. Just want to see if we're going to trade up a little bit higher. And I would be expecting us to trade all the way back down to that low again if we're going to get an aggressive drop. That's a nice reaction there. So we barely touched into that 1 minute. Just barely touched into that 1 minute. Alright, I'm going to test out these shorts here with half a lot. I'm going to test them out after inversing that 15-minute, touching into that 1 minute imbalance. Just going to test them out. Remember, just half a lot right now. We got that market structure shift. 3.5 is my entry. I'll keep a stop. 55 ticks above that 1 minute fair value gap at 18.54875. If we can get that continuation after that market structure shift, after seeing that SMT at the highs. Again, today has been a little bit all over the place. So that's why I'm just going in half a lot to start. Alright, so we got that shift. We inverse that 15-minute. We break structure on the 5-minute. Break structure on the 1 minute. We touch into a fair value gap. We react very strong back down. Got all these confirmations here. Today, NQ has had a mind of its own. So far, no follow through to the downside as of right now. This is what I'm looking for all the time, this exact setup here. Market structure shift. We retrace back into a premium of our range. Silver bullet hour, and we just continue to completely not respect these levels. So we'll see if it stops us out here. Half a lot. Getting pretty close to getting stopped out. We'll see. That was like within the tick there. I had my stop just above at the top of that fair value gap. Yeah, I'm not liking the structure right now that we're forming. I don't like these up close candles. We're not seeing that reaction that I wanted to see back down. When I got my entry, we saw that nice bearish candle off that 1 minute fair value gap. Long wick up, closing down, and then we get our entry, and then we just pump right after that. So we're still respecting that 1 minute, but we are getting pretty close to my stop loss. Again, not a full position here, just a half a position. I'm not liking it. All right, so it just stopped me out. Yeah, I mean, guys, this has been my theme lately. It's been tough. I mean, it's just one loss with half a lot, but still, I'm getting all these confirmations, things that setups that I always take, and just not getting that fall through like I wanted to see. So I saw on the 15-minute. So let's look at the 15-minute. Okay, so we trade up. We create this range here. Big 15-minute bearish fair value gap here. We get that strong retracement move. We trade up into that 0.62. Above, into a premium of that range. We get a strong reaction down. We inverse this 15-minute fair value gap here. If we would have respected this one, I wouldn't have looked to short. But then we inverse that. We disrespect it, close below. That's why I was looking to go short there. Continue that bearish trend that we've been seeing. And then looking at the 1 minute and the 5 minute. So look at the 5 minute. We have this low right here. We completely displace it. We have this low right here. We completely displace it. Super strong 5 minute. We displace the 5 minute bearish fair value gap. And then we just trade right back up. And then the 1 minute, we look here. Market structure shift on the 1 minute. We break the bullish trend. Close below this low with strong displacement. We bounce off that 1 minute fair value gap, start to drop, and then we come right back up. So that's just been kind of what's been going on lately with a lot of my entries. So again, I don't get mad because I know what my strategy is and I know what my plan is every day. And I know how many times I have traded this strategy and how many times it has worked. So I'm not going to be upset about it. It can be frustrating when you know that these things have worked time and time again and then they're not working, right? So that's when we just have to start adjusting. Got to start adjusting here. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. 1 sec. Alright, sorry about that. I am back. Okay, so looking back now, I mean, we see we're going right back to the top of that range. Okay, and the worst thing we could do, guys, is I know that I have not been getting my entries. The worst thing I could possibly do is to start revenge trading and over trading this stuff. So you're not going to see me do that. There's going to be days that I'm just not, I'm not going to be on getting the entries that I want. It's the reality of trading. I'm not always going to have it down. Not every day. So when I do have days where I can't seem to get my entries down, that's when I'm really just I'm being extra cautious to make sure that I don't let myself get into that mindset of taking 100 trades and trying to make back every single little loss. So yeah, so far here, one loss with half a lot. Let's see, we're still not breaking those highs. We're still making a lower high here. But we just come back and we rebalance this whole drop, super aggressive drop. And then we just come right back. So let's see if this 15-minute wants to trade up and displace the high here. Let's see if the 15-minute does want to push up into that unicorn, or if we're just going to create another lower high. It's kind of what I'm waiting for. Yeah, so those displacement fair value gaps are definitely very strong fair value gaps. Yeah, the ones that are displacing those lows and those highs, those are the strong ones. I mean, that doesn't have to be those ones, but that's that break of structure fair value gap. Well, my explanation right now for that deep is this market has been very volatile, very all over the place. And we have our levels. I really like my levels, and then price just does its own thing. So I mean, there's a possibility we could do that. I didn't expect that. I don't expect that to happen today. I don't expect us to go all the way back up to the top. That's why I'm still thinking short. But you guys can see the manipulation and the ranging that we're seeing. Yeah, I want to see us drop. I still want to see us head down. But I mean, there's potential. Let's say we do pump and try and continue, break highs, make higher highs. There is potential that we could see the same thing on Friday, that we head right back up. But right now we're still continuing to make higher or lower highs and lower lows on this 1 minute. We're just ranging. I mean, you can just see on the 15-minute. This on the 15-minute is not fun. Well, that's good on you, Enrique. I'm glad that you're doing your own analysis there. That's super important. And if you see something different than me, right, and you know that's good. Okay, so we're going back down to the bottom of this range. Create a fair value gap again, trade into it, drop. Let's see if we want to create another lower low, and if we're actually going to respect it again. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Okay, so like we keep doing this where we get this really aggressive drop with strong displacement. And then we take out that low, and then we come back up, but we don't take out any highs. So that 15-minute close, like we want to just dump, right? This 15-minute close, like we want to just dump all the way back down to the lows of the day. Strong 5-minute close. More divergence at the top. right? Yeah, ES went up and took those highs again. So more SMT divergence at the top. But then we see NQ just pumping right back. And so that silver bullet move, what we would be expecting is we've already taken out, we came up, grabbed a bunch of buy side liquidity, rebalanced a lot of our market. Then I would expect us to come right back down and try to take out these lows again. All right, there's just too much ranging right now. I'm not going to get an entry in the middle of the range. Okay, we create, oops. 1 minute fair value gap here. See if we respect that. Just looking at the 5 and the 15 minute, not great. Yeah, I would love to see us drop from here. I'd love to see an expansion move. Let's see if we can do it. We're still respecting that 1 minute. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, this stuff right here, guys, is not ideal. It's just ranging, so it's really hard to catch good moves in a ranging area. Unless we catch it perfectly at the top or perfectly at the bottom. Right, but once we broke this low, I was really expecting expansion, so. Yeah, I agree with you, Enrique. I appreciate that. Appreciate those words. Okay, we're still seeing us react off this 1 minute. Choppy, choppy, choppy. So again, our 5 minute close, just inside of this range. Not just no levels in this area. Except for that 2 minute fair value gap and that 1 minute fair value gap. See if we can still respect it. Old Boy. I don't know if I've seen that movie. Who's in that? I don't think so. I don't think I've seen it. Elizabeth Olsen. No, I have not. Pretty good. I'll have to check it out. Oh, it's on Netflix. All right. I'll look into it. All right, so then we see us. We're really respecting the 1 minute bearish fair value gap. Come down, and then we just trade right through it. At least we're attempting to trade right through it. Let's see if maybe we want to come grab some buy side again. And if we're going to continue to range, maybe scalp the shorts back down to the bottom of the range. Okay, so we disrespect that 1 minute fair value gap, bounce off the 1 minute order block up top. So far only one trade that I've wanted to take throughout all of this. There's only been one trade that I've really liked. And besides that, there's nothing. All right, we waited for the break of structure, market structure shift, waited for a pullback, got an entry, didn't work out. Ever since then, nothing else I would have taken. Well, that's good, honest money. I'm glad you're having that discipline. Super important. Two-minute fair value gap still being respected as of right now. Let's see if we want to grab some buy-side liquidity. Let's see once we do that if we're going to reverse back down. Even watching candles stops working out. What do you mean? What do you mean watching the candles stops working out? Well, like I said, it's a very difficult market to trade in, so can't beat yourself up. Got to understand that that is tough. Okay, so we displaced the 2 minute. Let's see what we do at the highs. See if we get more SMT divergence. Okay, this looks like we're starting to try to set up a pump here. Let's see what we do once we grab the liquidity. If we're really setting up a pump, or if this is just a liquidity grab here and we're going to come back down and target those lows. Okay, strong displacement on the 1 minute there. Looks like we're setting up for the longs. You can see that chop on the 5. We'll see though, we got to be careful since we're grabbing buy side. Be careful of that liquidity sweep. See if we get 5 minute displacement. All right, the structure now is looking pretty bullish. It's looking, these past few 5 minute candles are looking like they're really trying to move up and grab some buy side liquidity. All right, so now we start looking at these bullish fair value gaps. See if they're being respected. All right, we're getting that market structure shift. We got the market structure shift back to the upside. I mean, we had all this ranging. We're moving to the end of silver bullet hour and still have not really had a true silver bullet move. Let's see what kind of reaction we get off this 1 minute if we trade back into it. If we're gonna respect it, or if we're gonna trade right through it again, like we've been doing to all of our other 1 minute fair value gaps. Look how we trade right through it, and now we start dumping. All right, and this is just the type of day it's been. Still got a few minutes left on that 5 minute candle. And on the 15 minute candle. Bouncing off that 1 minute order block down here. I mean, that could be the case. What I really think it is I think that it's a number of things. It's a number of things. I think there is a lot of fundamental analysis obviously involved here. June is always a tough month to trade in general. We've got a lot going on in our world. We've got a lot going on in our economy in the U.S. We're seeing a lot of uneasiness in the market. A lot of news is being released lately. A lot of earnings are being released. So it's not like it's going to be like this all the time. I think it more has to do with our fundamental analysis, with everything that's going on. And another thing is when we hit all-time highs are another very difficult time to trade. I know that we've retraced a lot since hitting all-time highs, but once we hit those all-time highs, it gets really difficult to trade because now the market's either correcting itself and coming back down and filling a lot of imbalances, right? Because we hit those all-time highs, we don't always just keep going. So it gets kind of difficult to trade. Okay, so the 5 minute failed to displace. Liquidity sweep there. Same thing on ES. this is why I'm not trusting any breakout yet. Because every time we've seen a breakout potential, we see retracement right away. I mean, since we started this session, 45 right here. What have we done? Come down, range back up, come back down, finally see a break, then we range back up, and then we range back down, we range back up. So we have not seen anything great so far. So if we continue with this price action, I won't take another trade. I still expect some type of expansion move to happen today. At least one more big move or decent move. I don't expect us to range for the rest of the day. I expect us to at least make one more move and then maybe range for the rest of the day after that. But you guys can see that like every 1 minute candle, it's just not showing us anything clear. And we go and look at the 5 minute. We finally see potential breakout, come back down after sweeping liquidity. Then after that, I would expect us to really dump, but we don't do that. We just kind of sit right here. So hopefully we can give it a little bit more time. Hopefully leading into power hour, maybe we'll see something happen. Would really like for the market to show us something, and if it doesn't, it doesn't, and we can just walk away. Have a great day, Honest Money. God bless. Good discipline today. I mean, I can only imagine all the people in the past week or two who have been blowing through accounts. Just think how happy the prop firms probably are right now. They're probably making a lot of money. Let's try not to contribute to that. Let's try not to contribute to that. See, that's progress right there. That is progress. That's huge progress. If you can take multiple losses in a row for a few days and not blow your accounts, that's progress. Because the first instinct for anybody, any trader, is going to be to size up and to take a bunch of trades until they make those losses back, and then their account's gone. That's that natural instinct. So if you're fighting against that and you're building discipline, that's huge progress. Because again, the market's not going to be choppy like this all the time. It won't. We're going to have great months. We're going to have great weeks in the market, great days. As long as you manage your risk on those bad days, that's a lot of progress being made. So that's the way I look at it is, okay, I've obviously taken a good amount of losses. And I haven't been on my A game. The market's been tough. I'm holding myself accountable as well. I haven't been getting my entries. Okay, but my old self, I probably would have blown through, I don't know, 10 plus prop firm accounts by this time. Probably maybe more. Probably more. Okay, but just think about it in the long run. Think about, okay, maybe we went through 2 weeks that were really tough to trade. And I really focused on my risk management. And maybe I lost like last week. I lost about $2,000 last week. Oh, excuse me. We're starting to drop a little bit. I'm starting to head back down to the bottom of that range. Getting to the end of this hour. But what I was saying is, last week, yeah, all right, so I lost about $2,000. The week before that was a break-even week. Okay, so over the course of 2 weeks, I would have been down a lot more than $2,000 in the past. My old self would have been, oh my gosh, I would have been down so bad. But just think, if this week we can get, I get my entries dialed in, I could make my last week losses back in one day very easily. Right? It's just cutting those losses, making sure we're leaving after losing, we're not continuing to trade. And then you can make all those losses back in one day as long as you can manage that risk. But if you continue to take those crazy trades, sizing up, blowing accounts, it's going to be a lot harder to make those losses back in the future. Okay, so we just displaced this 1 minute bullish order block. We create this 1 minute bearish order block here. Let's see what we do when we trade back into it. See if there's any kind of scalp opportunity back down. All right, there's a decent scalp opportunity to take out these lows at 100 ticks from that order block. It's looking like around a 2-to-1 if we can trade back up. Strong 5 minute bearish candle again. 1 minute fair value gap that we just traded into. I want to start looking for a short entry here. Just kind of ran away pretty quick. Didn't get time to get that entry. Didn't have time to get that entry. We really just barely touched into that fair value gap before I had time. Let's see what happens here. All right, so we trade into that 1 minute fair value gap after displacement of the order block. We have a sell side target, just looking for a scalp here. Looking to catch it down to this low, possibly down to that low, just to grab some sell side liquidity. All right, we have that seek and destroy profile here. We just grab buy side, coming back down for sell side. Yeah, so like I wanted to get an entry there. Didn't get it in time. So I'll wait to see if we get any kind of retracement back into that level again. See if we get an entry opportunity. And if we don't, and we take out these lows and we reverse again, we'll look to long right back up to the top of that range. That's the type of setups that we're seeing right now. Okay, but I'm not going to short down here. I'm not going to long up here. Not unless we really have a strong breakout move. But I will look to short up here. We still have sell side liquidity down below. If you have 20K fixed drawdown, 40K target, my approach to that would be trying to catch 2-to-1 setups at the least for every trade. 2-to-1, 3-to-1 every trade, and keeping your daily loss limit and your profit goal at a 2-to-1 or a 3-to-1 every single day. That's my approach. That's what mine would be. Con size depends how much you're trying to risk per day. With 20,000 fixed drawdown, what 1% is about $200. You could, if you want to risk up to 5%, if you want to risk up to 3%, you would keep it in the micros. If you're wanting to risk a lot more, I would still be trading that. I mean, that's a tough thing to do. I would not trade super heavy, maybe up to like 2 minis at most, as long as you're not risking a bunch of your account, percentage every day. The contract size doesn't really matter as much if you are keeping the same risk dollar amount every day. Okay, we're back into that 1 minute. Strong bullish candle here. So I need to see a reaction back down if I'm going to short this. Yeah, we could be seeing that 5 minute here. Again, we're going into that new hour in just a minute. Look how terrible this hour has been. We can see it's pretty much dead even here. Pretty much dead even on this hourly candle. All right, so when we pump through a level like that, you're not going to look me try. Yeah, I'm not going to try to short that. Got to see a reaction. Okay, so this hourly is about to close. We disrespect this 1 minute fair value gap there. Going into power hour here. All right, so new hour is starting. You can see how bad that last hour was. All range. We don't even make a 5 minute fair value gap there. See what we do. Are we going to respect the 1 minute bearish order block or the 1 minute bullish fair value gap here? This is when I would expect us to break out of this range and actually make a move. Going into power hour. Expect one move to happen today. One more move. Okay, we're respecting that 1 minute bullish for value gap. See if we close above this OB here. All right, create an OB bullish order block here. All right, so we're starting to pump. Crazy pump here. Strong displacement on the 1 minute. Respecting that 1 minute bullish fair value gap. Looks like we're getting ready to break out of this trend. Or break out of this range. Okay, we failed to take out lows down here. Let's see if these longs are setting up. Or if this is just going to be one more fake out move. All I'm looking for is for these levels to be respected one way or the other. So far, none of our levels on either side are really being respected. We just trade right through them on both sides, so. Okay, fair value gap down here now on the 1 minute. See if we want to trade into it. Now just waiting to see if we get a reaction or if we're going to head right back down again. Still closed inside of it for now. I'm starting to like that reaction off the 1 minute order block, 1 minute fair value gap. Still, we're just still in this range, so it's still not a lot of conviction for me. Just because we're right in the middle of the range still. So, yeah, I mean, pretty rough stuff here. And it has been for the past hour. I'm liking this reaction here, though, on the 1 minute. But just no follow through. No follow through. All right, I have not taken any more entries. Okay, so we disrespect this 1 minute here. Let's see if we can get a bounce off that order block. Touch back into the fair value gap here on the 1 minute. So, I mean, ideally, we would want to see us break out of this range. We just don't look like we're trying to do that yet. I mean, every time frame we're looking at is just no bueno. On every single time frame, not good. Especially when we zoom down into the 5 and the 1 minute. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know about you guys. I'm not trying to take any entries right here. I'll hang around and we'll see if price action is going to get any better. We'll still be looking for stuff. But if we can't break out of this range, you will not see me take another trade. I feel like we need like some upbeat music or something to get us going here. So ES over here looks like it's really trying to break out to the upside. The top of the trend. And Q is not showing the same. The VIX is still heading down. DXY is heading down. So I do want to see if these longs are going to step in. Yeah, maybe I need to hit up Nancy. See if she can buy up some orders here. Move the market in the right direction for us. Can the long step in? Can we take us back up? At least get us back up to VWAP. And the other reason I'm not ending the call, because I know that right when I end the call is when the market's going to make a move. It's typically how it works. I'll walk away for about 5 minutes. I'll come back and see that we made like a 200 tick or 300 tick move. Yeah, maybe I should walk away. Maybe I should walk away for like 5 minutes. Something might happen. Again, I did not want a vacation to Trop City today. Wasn't my plan. I really wanted to go to Expansion Town. Better than Rockville. Chop City. Come on, NQ. This actually might be worse than watching paint dry. Let's see if the longs are actually going to come in here. More. Do we got SMT here? No, no SMT. Taking out some more buy side liquidity here. Our next 15-minute candle is about to close. Looks like we're still going to close inside of this range. But another up close candle. Looks like we're still trying to push up a little bit. Oh yeah, I've been there. I've been there multiple times. Multiple times. Wanting to give up, for sure. For sure. Well, I'm a person that will really pursue something until I'm good at it. If I know that there's potential, I kind of have these, I'm very like big goal oriented. And sometimes I have these unrealistic goals that I set. And I think that's good because I will keep going until I can reach those goals. I won't stop. And I know that it's something that I knew that I could potentially be successful at. And I wasn't going to stop until I found that success. And I still won't stop. I still won't stop. You know, like every day I'm still trying to get better. Every single day. Because I have so many more bigger goals in my life that I want to achieve, and I know that trading will just get me there. Will get me to that point, or it can get me to that point. So Yeah, they had prop firms when I started, but I didn't start. I started with cash. 'Cause I started in options. Didn't find a lot of success in options because I didn't really put enough time into it. I was kind of like halfway in, 1 foot in the water, 1 foot out. So I ended up losing not a crazy amount of money, but still, to me, at the time, it was a lot of money. But then when I started getting into futures, I also started with cash and futures. And then I decided to move over, lost a bunch of money again, decided to move over to prop firms, started utilizing those. Exactly. It's all about the journey. And that's the thing is you set these goals. You set goals for yourself, and what happens once you reach that goal? What's next? Right? Sometimes you can be left feeling very unfulfilled once you reach that goal because you thought it was going to be so much more than what you made it in your head. And sometimes that can be kind of depressing. It can be like, wow, well, I hit this goal, but now what? So sometimes it is more important to focus on the journey of success, like 100% deep. Like focus on the process, and you still set those goals for yourself, but focus on your purpose. I'm always trying to focus on what my true purpose is and trying to get better at that every day and trying to fulfill my purpose. And when I hit those goals, I celebrate the small wins and I know there's still more to be done. Okay, so we're finally starting to try to break out of this range. But again, every time we've done this, we've come right back down. But we finally created lower highs, higher lows. Looks like we're trying to continue up. But just still so slow. Still not a lot of great levels for entry. I mean, typically in Power Hour, we see a lot more movement than this. See a lot more volume. Today, we're not seeing that just yet. Yeah, Deep, I think that's a great idea. I mean, that's what a community is all about, right? Sharing our struggles, going through things together, right? We've all been through, although we've probably all been through very different experiences in our lives. I'm sure there's a lot of similarities between them that we can help each other through. So I do like that idea. That's the definition of community right there. Coming together for a common goal, common purpose. So one would be to get better at trading, to make money from trading, but also to take care of ourselves and better ourselves as human beings. Okay, so we're still seeing us ranging up. I still don't really like any levels to enter. Just because we're going so slow, we're not really forming a lot of good levels here. Okay, so maybe we get a strong displacement candle here. Maybe behind this 1 minute OB. Where are we targeting? Well, we'd be looking for price to go take out that high up there. But again, if we're just going to keep running away and not give us a chance, well, there's not much we can do about that. Alright, so now we're just kind of running. NQ's just kind of leaving us behind here. But like I said, I wasn't going to really look for an entry inside of that range. Really just been waiting for the breakout. We're really pulling back now. Alright, so is that another liquidity sweep at the top? Or are we going to go right back to the bottom of the range? I expected this to actually be more of a breakout and for us to actually head up for those highs. But we are dropping pretty aggressively. Let's see what we do at this order block at this fair value gap. If we're going to respect these levels. And so the 5 minute looks like a liquidity sweep that's going to try to take us right back down to the lows. Just want to see how we react off this 1 minute order block, 1 minute imbalance here. Got that 2 minute order block. Still closing inside. Just that 5 minute, which is keeping me from jumping into anything just yet. Disrespected that 1 minute bullish fair value gap there. I just want to see how this 5 minute closes. Is the 5 minute going to close with displacement above the highs, or is it going to come right back down? Looks like we might get some displacement. Alright, so the 5 minute close with displacement there. So even when we're seeing a breakout, we're still seeing us disrespect our typical levels. Okay, forming another gap down below. See if we want to trade back into it. I mean, to be honest with you guys, I'm still not loving this price action. It's getting better, but it's still not amazing. Like I said, I wanted to see the long step in here and see a breakout. Just haven't really seen great entries. One minute bullish order block forming here. See if we want to test this order block if we get a bounce from it. See, we're not really even testing our levels and we're just going. We didn't trade back into that fair value gap. We haven't traded back into this order block. Okay, aggressive move back into that OB. SMT at the highs. Just still don't like this entry. I mean, the longs could be an entry from here. Could be a decent entry from here off that order block. We have this 15-minute close here in just 1 minute. So if we inverse this 15-minute fair value gap here, this bearish fair value gap, we inverse it, we trade back into it, we see another smaller time frame fair value gap or order block, I will look to long that, and I'll look to long it back up into that unicorn, up to this high at least. So it's this high right here that I'm talking about. If we can inverse that gap. If we can displace these highs on the 15-minute, inverse that gap, then we have a fair value gap on the 5-minute left behind there. Then we might see something good, but right now we're heading right back down and we're not seeing us do that. And see us failing to inverse that fair value gap, failing to disrespect it. Okay, we're still getting displacement of these highs, which is good. 5-minute order block, fair value gap below. After displacing. So we still could see a decent setup for the longs, but again, got to see a reaction. Got to see a reaction off this if I'm going to think about longing it. And this is why. This is why you see me waiting. Just the constant manipulation in this market today. And we're leading into the end of the day. Let's see if we can still respect that 5 minute. And still try to pump here. Okay, but if we continue with this bad price action, I'll probably just hop off in a little bit. Just call it a day. If we can see us respect this bullish for value gap and still try to go up from here. I really wanted to see that 15-minute inverse that fair value gap at the top. Here we're right back into that 1 minute order block from earlier. Can these longs step in? This is the last trade I'll look for. See if these longs can step in here. Or see if we're going to break structure the downside and go target our sell side liquidity one more time. And range all the way back down. So we've really been doing a lot of waiting today. Throughout the whole day. I mean, we've been on this session for a while, guys, and we've only taken one trade. One trade with half a lot. Yeah, we just it's today is all about patience. Even if we're red right now, it's all about patience. Okay, I'm liking that pump here. I'm gonna try out the longs. I'm gonna try out the longs with half a lot. I'm gonna jump into a full lot here. I'm gonna jump into a full lot in the longs. Let's see how far my entry moved up. Kind of far. Let's see where it went to. My entry moved all the way up to 18,589. 18,589. 18,589.50. So my entry moved up pretty far, but I still like that bounce. I'll keep my stop down at the low. Keep it at like 50 ticks down here. 18,577. The longs are pumping here. Okay, so let's look at our targets. I like that 1 minute candle, and look at the 5 minute. Look how that 5 minute closed, respecting that fair value gap down below. Strong bullish close. So now I'm looking to hold. If we can get a continuation of this move, I'll take profit off around VWAP here, around 85 ticks. And then I'll look to try to hold through VWAP up to this liquidity level up top. So we'll see if we can get that follow through. This is the one trade I wanted to see happen here. Okay, that 5 minute, respecting the imbalance below the order block, pumping, closing very aggressively to the upside. 15 minute looking to inverse this fair value gap. So let's see if NQ can finally pull through today. I'm going to try to take TP right around VWAP. We'll see. Forming this 1 minute fair value gap below. So around this level here, Around 18,611 is where I'm going to try to take first TP, just depending on how aggressive we're moving, if we're stalling, so forth. See if we can get that power hour pump to end the day. Or if we're just going to manipulate right back down like we've continued to do. Can we respect that? Just so crazy today. So crazy. I mean, after seeing that strong pump, let's see if we can bounce from that level one more time. Can we bounce from that level one more time? So far, not looking like it wants to. All we're asking for is one pump here in Q, and you don't want to give it to us. You don't want to follow through. Yeah, I mean, that's the one trade I was looking for. Finally set up. Finally got the momentum. Still in it, but our 1 minute time frame does not look like it wants to head up right now. Stop loss is 18,577, which is about to get hit here. Very close to getting hit. Very close. Let's see if we can get that pump. Okay, we bounced off that 1 minute order block again. Just got to respect that 5 minute imbalance here. I don't like how aggressive this 5 minute candle is to the downside. After seeing that, I mean, this candle was the ideal. This 5 minute candle was the ideal setup for the longs here. That hammer candle. All right, so I'm out. This has just been what it's been like today. But again, guys, I had my conviction. I finally saw the setup that I would take this 1,000 times. We finally get displacement of the highs on the 5 and the 15 minute time frame. We create a 5 minute order block with the fair value gap below. We see a hammer candle reacting right off of that strong close up, get in the trade, and then price manipulates right back down to our stop. So this is a trade that I would take 100 times out of 100. Like, I really like this setup. Really like the setup. Everything was aligning. We got our displacement, we got our retracement. And as you can see, NQ has just not wanted to do, it hasn't wanted to go our way whatsoever today. So yeah, I mean, I'll take the loss there. But like I said, this is a trade I take all the time. So I'm not upset, stuck with my plan. I mean, the whole day I've stuck with my plan, and I've only taken trades that I'm willing to take all of the time, and they haven't worked out. So just one of those days. I know it's frustrating, guys. I know it's frustrating. But we're still focusing on our risk management here. We still have I still have my 50K prop firms both at $1,000, right around $1,000 in profit, right? And that's why I talk about playing the long game. Even when we have terrible price action, even when we're not winning, even the past week and a half have not been the best, and we still have our prop firms well into profit. Even if we're only a third of the way to passing, I'll take that over blowing an account any day. I would hold on to these prop firm accounts for as long as it takes. I don't care. I'm not going to over leverage. So just keep focusing on that. I know today I got caught in the manipulation, and it's been tough. Okay, but I'm going to keep a positive attitude about it, and I hope you guys can keep a positive attitude. No matter what, It's always a learning lesson, and we'll come back tomorrow. Again, putting today behind us, ready to go, learning from it, moving on. So appreciate you guys for being here. God bless all of you. I hope you have a safe rest of your day today. Please don't go blowing your accounts. Please, please, please focus on that risk management. Okay. Again, we'll get it together. I'll get it together. I'll get it dialed in for you guys. Don't worry about it. All right, well, I will see you all tomorrow. Take care of yourself mentally and physically today. Okay, we'll put this behind us. We'll learn from it. All right, guys, God bless you all. See you tomorrow. Appreciate you all. Peace.